Them shoes looking sharp.
Oh, thank you. Hey, look, if you get, I had Kyra Nicole. She's a photographer here in the D. Now she switched it up and she became. Are we on? Okay. Hey, what's going on, Facebook? I'm here with Jacquees Purefoy of Purefoy Business Law, and guess what? She's a facilitator at Build Institute. So if you have a small business or you're looking to start a small business or you're looking to support small businesses in the city of Detroit or Metro Detroit, you need to connect with Jacquees Purefoy. Let me tell you. So guess what? Tonight, you know about the Drawing Board Podcast. It is a powerful, thought-provoking discussion that challenges the listener to examine their life and reimagine the possibilities. So tonight, we're talking about everything is on go. I want you to make sure you ask your questions. You can call in. The number is, I always shout Kate out, who's the engineer. Kate, I'm looking for that little...
Me too.
All right. So, hey, listen, I'll get the phone number to you a little later on, but I definitely want you to ask questions. Make sure you tune in. The phone number is 248-579-5295. We're getting ready to go live on podcastdetroit.com. I always shout them out. They are located in Royal Oak and in the city of Detroit. We're waiting on my friend, Reverend Torian Bridges. And when he comes in, we'll just join in, ask questions. Make sure you share it out. We want, guess what? I'm asking for 1,000 views. I don't know if we're going to get there, but that's what I'm believing. So let's get 1,000 views going. All right?
All right, prepare for intro to start momentarily.
Okay. You've now tuned in to the Drawing Board Podcast, a powerful, thought-provoking discussion where we talk about family, relationships, ministry, community, and career. Let's see what exciting guests we have on our show today. Well, I'm not sure. We had a little bit of Ice Baby going on there. And I am an Alpha, a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Shout them out. I don't know if you all heard the Ice Baby going in the background. But listen, this is your host, Andre Ebron, the founder and the host of the Drawing Board Podcast. And the Drawing Board Podcast, as I've stated before, is a powerful, thought-provoking discussion that challenges the listener to examine their life and reimagine the possibilities. Have you ever felt like it's just time to reinvent yourself? You ever felt like, hey, I've been in this rut long enough? Or you're like, you know what, my life has actually gone the way I've planned it, but I really feel like I haven't actualized my full potential, and there's still something in me that's aching to get out. I just want to, experience life and experience, some life beyond the limits that I've set for myself or other people have set before me. But today I have a special guest in the studio. I wish I had a drum roll, please. All right, there we go. Got the drum roll in the back from the engineer, Kate. I have Jacquees Purefoy, ESQ, period. Please believe it. Business law. She has her own business. Purefoy Business Law. Jacquees, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I am excited to be here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Glad to have you on. Before we jump into all of the juicy meat of which we'll talk about tonight, where the title of tonight's podcast is Everything's on Go. If there's anything that you think that you want to do, it's on go. Literally, a decision away leads you in the direction of whatever it is that you envision or dream or think is possible. Make the decision, become resolved in your actions, and then put the grind and get it in. So,
absolutely.
So yeah, let's reflect. I'm trying to think, Jacquees, when did we actually meet? Like what,
I really don't know. Facebook and social media is just so powerful. You interact with so many people, so many good people. And I really can't pinpoint when we met, but I know, to me, like in my spirit, it was about education.
Absolutely.
And I think that's one thing that we share and value a lot. So it probably was something about education and you doing some work with Cornerstone, because my daughter attended Cornerstone schools. So education or business in the community.
Oh, yeah, it was education. It was... when I was directing admissions for Cornerstone Schools Association. Shout out to Cornerstone Schools Association, all of the great work, the 25 plus years of making a mark in the community for the cause of Christ, and then the different charter schools that branched out to try to increase the opportunity for others in the city of Detroit to get a quality education. All right, I'll send you all the invoice for that shout out.
Right.
But I do also want to take the time to acknowledge Ernestine Sanders. Ernestine Sanders is a pillar in our community. She was the CEO, kind of like the headmaster of Cornerstone.
Absolutely. She was instrumental in making sure. She was like, money won't be a reason that your daughter can't attend the school. Because when Jasmine was going to Cornerstone, I was making about $25,000 a year. I mean, I totally couldn't afford Cornerstone. She said, come to me with a payment plan, and as long as you can stick to it, your daughter can stay here. And she made sure Jasmine was able to be a student there.
Yeah, Ernestine Sanders was excellent. She was my direct report when I was working for Cornerstone Schools Association. And, I mean, she really gave me the game and helped me understand how to move and operate, throughout in different realms of business. Because I'll tell you, in my heart of hearts, I'm an advocate. And I'm an advocate almost to the fault. You know how you have advocates that will fight tooth and nail,
Right.
and the fight is over and they're still fighting.
Sure.
And you had to learn. I had to learn in different environments with different groups, socioeconomic groups, with different cultures, with everything. There is a skilled way to accomplish the end goal without actually having to fight in a way that I was accustomed to fighting.
Sure.
And I'm gonna tell you, my voice, like paint on a brand new wall, I would leverage. It didn't matter who was in the meeting. I would say, excuse me, we are here for this reason, and unless you are prepared to look these people in the face and say that you're definitely not going to do this, then this is the direction we're headed, and that's how.
You was passionate.
Oh, man, the
They
passion
they thought you was an angry black man.
Oh, man, they did. And I was, it's been other realms that I've worked in, especially with child advocacy, with social work. And I love the shirt you have on.
Thank you.
Black Attorneys Matter.
Yes, we do.
So throw it down. The Black Law Association. My man, Donovan Johnson, he just graduated last year from U of D Law. And he's out in Grand Rapids doing some really good things. That's my Sands. I shouted him out. That's my ace of the line.
That's what's up.
And so, Jacquees, I know you are involved in so much. And when we met, one of the things that I loved, and even following you on Instagram and following you on Facebook, is that I would call you the plug. I mean, 'cause it seems like whenever you meet somebody new, you aren't afraid to expose them to a resource that can take them to their next level.
Yeah, you got to share.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the only way we come up, and people ask me all the time, what's your title? For me, I'm a connector.
Okay.
And I don't know if you noticed, you did the plug of when you made the post, it was like Purefoy Business Law. Yeah, I'm an attorney, but I'm so many things. And the biggest hat for me is being a connector. And just trying to be what other people need me to be, because everybody can't be at the table. So when you at the table and you got the resources, you gotta give back, put people to the table, and when they're not ready to be at the table, that you share what you've gotten from the table. This is very important to me.
Okay, so break that down, because there is, and there are listeners right now who may not know, because I've been there. So I'll tell you, there was a time with my business, I had more business cards and mints than I had product. No, this is the real thing.
Not mints, brother.
Yeah, it was more business cards, a flyer, and some mints. Because I figured if I leveraged my voice and I had my passion and I had the technical capacity to get it done, but I was it was like the genesis of what I was creating. So I was out there with a hope and a prayer, and out there really ready and just wanted an opportunity. But in a lot of ways, I wasn't ready to be at the table.
Sure.
So what do you say to a person right now who has the passion for it? They may even have some formal education or some schooling, and they're lacking that experience, and they're hungry to be at the table. What do you say to them?
I say continue to work hard and be visible, and look at who you want to emulate or who you want to be in the community, and give them a call. I mean, I think about the first job I got out of law school. I called up Congressman Hanson Clark's office.
All right.
He had just won to be a U.S. House of Representative. And I said, I'm from Detroit, and I'm passionate, and I want to serve. Let me back up. Before he got to Congress, he was a senator.
Yes.
And I said, I want to volunteer. See, you can't be too good to say, everybody, where's the money? Where's the money? But people want to see where your heart is. People want to see where your passion lies. And I've been very blessed to do work that I would do for free to get paid. And I'll say that one more time. I've been very blessed to get paid to do work that I would do for free.
Oh, awesome. So it's not just a passion, but it is more about who you are as a person.
Sure.
Yeah, so let's unpack that for a minute.
Okay.
So you have been blessed to do work, to get paid to do work
Right.
that you would do for free,
And that I've done for free.
that you've done for
So
free.
when you think about what you just said, the question was, somebody's listening and they want to get to the table, but they don't know how. Identify who's at the table. And then help them. Be of service. To me, I feel like I'm a social service engineer. You got to be a servant. You got to be able to serve before you can lead. And you need to learn how to serve others. So identify who you want to emulate, who's doing the work you want to do, and ask them, how can I help you? How can I be of service? I see you have this event. Can I come fold some flyers? Can I be a greeter at your event? And no, don't be scared to get dirty. I mean, I love Kim, the artist, K.E.M.
Yes.
And he has the Mac and Third nonprofit where he puts on a free concert. And, I would totally pay for concerts. I love to go see Kim. But I reached out and I said, what can I do to be of service? And they had a volunteer day. We volunteered for 20 hours, like straight.
Oh, wow.
Cleaning up needles, bottles. It was like where homeless people slept, trash. It was really, really humbling experience. So again, I say how to get to the table, identify who's at the table, and then look at what you can do to be of service. And that may not come with a paycheck.
Oh, absolutely. And so what's interesting, though, when I get a chance to meet some of these people who are looking to launch out in business, like the service component seems to be a lot of times the furthest away from what it is that they want to do. Because a lot of times when people are thinking about entrepreneurship, they're thinking about not having to submit to anybody else instructing or guiding or leading. And I've seen a lot of people in a lot of ways isolate themselves from that wisdom that you just shared. So you heard it here. Jacquees Purifoy said, if you want to get to the table, keep working hard and don't be afraid to serve. Identify. The Bible says like this: mark the perfect man. Take a look, make sure you take a look and see who's working and surveying, and don't be afraid to reach out to them and to volunteer. Another strong principle that you share for me that has so much like biblical references, it says you need to support and help another person materialize their vision, and in that, your vision begins to come to pass.
Absolutely. And when you need someone else, guess what? People are going to be running to you with open arms. How can I support you? How can I be there for you? Because you've been there for so many people. I mean, it's 2018. I feel like I've taken a break from life really the last 2 or 3, 4 years. But even on my break and sabbatical, I've been plugging everybody else because I know when I'm ready to hit the ground and God has said, Jacquees, this is what you're going to do, that I'm going to need support from other people. And I pray that the fact that I've been serving and volunteering and helping others while I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do next, that they'll be willing to say, you know what, let's be a pillar for you.
Absolutely. So a couple of things that you called yourself, and I have your bio before me. It's so rich with everything, but I love how organically these things have come out. You said, I am a connector. I am a social. This is what you said. You said, I am a social service engineer. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, when you said that. And an engineer begins to craft and build and to grow. So I call you the plug, the social service engineer, the one who is not afraid to share and full of so much wisdom. So I also want to bring into the show, Kate, I need another drum roll, please. All right, drum roll out there. All right, thank you, Kate. All right, the Reverend Doctor. No, the good Reverend, one of my good friends, the founding pastor, the senior pastor of Commonwealth of Faith Church out of Metro Detroit, located in Redford.
The good township.
Yeah, the good township of Redford. So, yeah, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. So we were just talking about, and on your way here, we were talking about how tonight's theme and tonight's title of the message or title of the podcast is Everything's on Go. And how you have to be ready with boots on the ground, become resolute in your spirit and your mind on what you want to accomplish. And so, Brother Reverend Torian, I'd like to bring you in. First, let me make this introduction. And I know we're on air, but hey, this is life. So we're going to make the connection. All right. So, Torian, this is Jacquees. Jacquees, this is
Nice
Torian.
to meet you.
Hey, go
All
Blue.
right. Yeah.
Go green.
All right, so yeah, you see, you hear it's going down already. All right,
Basement.
I had a question before all of my for all of my U of M fans. I have a question.
Oh my God.
I do. Before we move on, if you lose 7 years in a row, is it still called a rivalry?
I don't think so.
Yes, it is. We beat y'all.
Roll back.
Oh,
Roll back. Roll back.
It's
All right.
it's still a rivalry, and,
It's
and I
still a
think
rivalry?
that's what a competition is about. You can't win them all. You can't win them all, and we got beat pretty nastily.
I
But
was
we're gonna be still ready next year, and I'm
Ready
still
next
talk
year.
trash.
I saw a lot of your posts
Man.
that, I saw all of that was Amazing Blues. I saw a pie with the M, kind of stamped in there. And I saw Happy Thanksgiving. I said, oh, she is ready.
Yeah,
ready
I'm
to
ready.
go.
Yeah.
So shout out to all of my Go Blue U of M fans and diehards out there. Keep believing. Never let go of the faith. Keep holding tight. And so I have a Spartan sitting to the left of me. Yeah. And so, Torian, I have had the privilege of kind of watching portions of your journey. We were talking about the drawing board, and we're going to jump right into it if we may. What actually gave you the unction to say, you know what, it's time for me to take a leap of faith and start Commonwealth of Faith Church?
This is something that God planted in me years ago while I was serving.
Oh, awesome.
Like you said, you work someone else's vision, and somehow, some way, God gives you yours. I served as the special assistant to my pastor, Pastor Solomon Willett Kinlock of Triumph Church.
Okay, shout out to Triumph.
Shout out to my past.
Okay.
And in that, I remember when my wife and I joined, there was about 10,000 and 4 different campuses. And by the time I had transitioned off the actual staff, there was 30,000 members across 7 or 8 campuses.
Oh, awesome.
I was personally tasked with renovating 3 of those, and I did the operations for that. And so in that, I was able to actually see, oh, this is something that I sort of like doing. And God, what is it that you have for me? And pastoring is a unique occupation because you have to be called to do it.
Absolutely.
Believe me, this is not something, starting a brand new church is not something I would not wish on my worst enemy.
Okay.
It is dirty.
All right.
It is community-based.
Okay.
It is grassroots.
Yes.
And I work full-time. I'm married. I have a very young son. He'll be 18 months Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Hunter.
And
Shout out to Jasmine and Hunter.
Shout out to Jasmine and Hunter who are at church right now.
Okay.
And I mean, it's a 24-hour, 7-day a week, 365 kind of job. And you do it and you're saying, okay, this is good, because you are judging what you believe is actually going on. But then God shows you, there's more. There's more. So I sort of like say I'm a mixture between J.R. Ewing and the little engine that could. I just always seem to get it done.
Okay. That sounds good.
So we are just proud and happy of what God has us allowed us to do.
Okay.
But the bottom line is I served for years and years and years and years and years and years. I served, and I still serve. Like, there are guys who don't know me as Torian, that don't know me as Jasmine's husband, but as Kinlock's boy.
Yeah.
And it's because of that doors have even opened for me.
Yeah.
But you have to be humble in your service. God honors that.
So let's extract some principles here. We talked about what does it take to get to the table. And a couple of things that have really resonated strong in our conversation is that, number one, you have to identify who's at the table and who you want to emulate. So after you identify who you want to emulate, you have to be willing to reach out and connect with them. So as the connector, as a person who's serving, you all are serving, I'm serving, you have to be willing to undergird that vision. And like you said, J.R. Ewing and the little engine that could actually go ahead and get the job done.
Right.
I say there are 3 types of people in the world, and I want to loft this to you all and see what you think. I said there are those who are extremely passionate, and they're always willing to articulate their passion. There are those who are extremely competent, and generally they're like, 4-day-old turkey that have, they're kind of bland. Sometimes they're extremely competent, but the passion is just lacking. It's like, I know your stuff, but it's just like, it's like real bland. Like, the chicken that's kind of dry, so you pour the barbecue sauce
we
on
don't
it.
got no dry chicken.
No,
in
I
our
mean,
house.
We ain't got nothing either.
you don't got none dry chicken either? Okay, well, listen.
But I'm trying to
Yeah.
follow.
Following me? Okay.
Yeah.
And
Just
then
your
you have
illustration
those who are, extremely passionate and competent. And I think that is the perfect blend. And I feel like that is who I have sitting before me today. Is like your passion comes through just organically, but then like your competency is rich. Because what I feel that the people that I encounter a lot, they have one or the other.
Oh,
And,
really?
Yeah, and I run into a lot of people who are pioneers, who are starting a lot of things, and those are like in my personal networks. But what I found is because we are a lot of times entrenched and engulfed around people who are a lot like us,
Right.
that we assume that this is the greater majority.
Yeah.
And because we're only around, and I'll just use this for an example, is that people in your circle generally have master's degree or advanced degrees, and that's who you hang with all of the time, and maybe you kick it with people
Now.
but that's
But
not
you still
the,
got to keep your hood people. You
You-
know, when
yeah,
you got to make
close
that
to
phone
you.
call.
Come
yeah.
on.
Yeah, so yeah,
They still there.
Okay,
Now,
yeah.
you don't post about those necessary interactions anymore. You can't post about that stuff. But you won't be, as a pastor, he got to know who Ray Ray and Pookie is, right?
He does.
Because if somebody
Do you know Ray Ray?
break in the windows in the church, that's where you're gonna go. Who who then broke in here and then did X, Y, and Z. He know what phone calls he need to make. You can't just be with your PhD friend. Those are great. Those are the people you going to, different functions and maybe got the passport and you're traveling with your family. Him and Jasmine and Hunter, they
Yeah,
that's
they
Turks
roll.
and Caicos with.
right.
But you gotta also have the person who can't get the passport and can't get into Canada.
Come on.
You need them to.
Absolutely.
I had a situation last Sunday. We had the Detroit News with us, and something just said, something's going to go wrong. Something's going to go wrong. Something's going to go wrong. This guy walked off of the street, and I could hear him in my office, and he backflips into the church,
All right.
and he begins to crip walk.
Okay.
And he makes the entire church uncomfortable. Now, we are Baptist board and we Baptist bred, and when we die, we'll be Baptist dead. So, there's some movement, but it's not a whole lot of movement.
Okay.
So I said, okay, sir, are you all right? Yeah, Reverend, I'm just trying to praise the Lord. And starts dancing like breakdancing.
That sounds like my kind of guy. Praise
Get
the
this.
Lord.
And so I get up to preach, and I say something that this gentleman doesn't like, and he stops the sermon and calls me an MFer right in the middle of church.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in that moment, you're chosen. Do you want to be Torian or you want to be pastor?
Right. So listen, that's when you got to get your there goes the sound. That's when you got to get your Peters. See,
Hope you got security,
yes,
brother.
Security. And you allow people to come in off the street because that's what church is about, reaching the highways, the byways.
The least lost and the left behind.
Absolutely. But it's also some order that has to be in the house. And one of the things that's interesting about my ministry is that that is who ends up being drawn toward me the most. Like when people come off the street, they say, Minister Ebron. Because like God has given me a gift to connect with people that way. Like I was sharing with Jacquees before we came on air, I was a social worker for years. And so my mom was a social worker. My goddad was a pastor. So like I have been working with the community like all of my life. So I love it. Sometimes I drive through just because that's where I feel most comfortable. I tell my wife, I said, I love where we live now. I really do. I said, but if I'm feeling kind of gully and I just want to put my hat on to the back and throw my Timbs on or something like that, I know that I'm going to be a suspect in my own neighborhood.
You know where to go.
Yeah.
Right. And so what I'm saying is you definitely have to walk with kings, but yet keep the common touch, okay? And, that's one of my favorite poems, If by Rudyard Kipling. And so it says, if you can walk with kings, but keep the common touch. And that is what we have to be able to do. So we were talking about everything being on go, Torian. And one thing I know, and your daughter's name is
Jasmine.
Jasmine, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so That's great. So when we're talking about Torian's Jasmine, we're not talking about Jacquees Jasmine, but it's interesting.
No, because she's not married yet.
Yeah, she's not married yet. But what school is she at though? What school is
The
she
other
at?
school.
Huh?
She's not in Ann Arbor, unfortunately.
Yes, but where is she at, Jacquees? Where
Do
is she?
deductive reasoning, folks. She's at a state school and she's not in Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
I mean, she could be in Grand Rapids at Grand Valley.
She
She
could.
could
So
be
what
at Ipsy.
school is she
I
at?
just
She's
want to
at-
hear it. Where is your money going? That's what
My
I.
daughter currently resides in East Lansing.
Yeah, she
And
resides.
a child should lead them. That's
Yes,
what the
right.
Bible says.
Well, your children will do things that you don't always approve of, but you raise them up to be independent, and it can backfire.
It can
Oh, yeah,
backfire.
her first Halloween costume was the cutest little U of M cheerleading outfit.
Right.
And, we've gone to all these games, all these tailgates, graduations, and she just said, Mom, I'm going to.
The spirit of the Lord led her
Lord.
elsewhere. and
Let-
that's
let her-
okay.
It's fitting though. Jasmine's not really competitive. She's very mild and a meek child. So she's in the right. No, in all jokes aside, she's in the right environment because it's really cutthroat in Ann Arbor. It really is.
Well, listen, I appreciate when we met and I got a chance to hear. And then if anybody and all of those people who follow Jacquees, you know how much love and passion she has for her daughter. In
Oh,
fact,
thank you.
she just made some greens here for Thanksgiving. Had
Lord
Jasmine and her friends knocked out.
Yeah, because people are like, you're gonna cut the collard greens, and I'm like, yeah. It was like, oh, I just get them out the glory bag, and I was like, my mama, I don't know nothing about the glory bag. I said I gotta go and I gotta weigh them, and then I gotta get them, and I gotta come home and wash them, and I gotta let them soak, and then I roll them up, and then I get the big knife, and then I cut them,
Yeah.
then I massage them in the
Massage
water.
'em? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so my mom is from Mobile, Alabama. My dad
Okay,
my mom's
shout
from.
out
from
Oh, yeah.
Pritchard, Alabama.
8 Mile.
8 Mile, yeah, and so yeah, I don't know about the glory bag, so I had to put in work. And
I
then
saw you.
You put the turkey, but man, the turkey wings took forever. I had to boil them turkey wings for like 5 hours.
Not those bland ones he was talking
Not
about.
the
I mean,
bland
not the
turkey
No,
ones.
bland
no,
ones.
so much smoked turkey.
The smoked turkey.
Yeah, until
But-
it fall off the bone.
Yeah.
My Lord.
So one thing when I heard about your journey when we were talking, and I sent this to you in the email, we were sharing, because I never forget, especially when somebody shares a portion of their story with me. And you were in law school, so yeah, shout out. You still are a part of an elite group of people who, and I know you don't like to draw that distinction of elitism because it's not
mean,
about being.
She did go to U of M.
She
so
did
that-
go to U of M.
Oh, I tout that hard.
Okay.
That's
But
that's yeah.
But what drove me most is when I heard about how you fought tooth and nail and really just appreciated the grace that was given when she was at Cornerstone,
Yeah.
and how you just continue to set up a standard of excellence for her. But in the same vein, you still gave her the space to be an individual, and how you have and that takes a lot of grace to be able to watch people you love make decisions that you don't necessarily 100% agree with.
Or you loathe.
Or yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So,
I mean, because for me, the competition, it is real. I mean, I've always
Yeah.
wanted to be a Wolverine. So her going there just was like, rah. But in all seriousness, I'm glad that she's getting an education.
yeah,
Period. And she's been a great girl.
yeah, absolutely. And then with Torian, you got a chance to share with me because we are friends, and you have shared part of your drawing board story is you talk about you had a house fire.
Yeah, a week to the day before Thanksgiving 4 years ago, we were at work. My neighbor called me and said, "Hey, are you barbecuing?" I said, "No." He said, "You better hurry up and get home."
Yeah,
My wife and I drove home, and it seemed like that 3 actual block radius from 7 Mile to 6 Mile took about 30 minutes,
okay.
and I could see the fire trucks. I could see the cops. I mean, they had the entire block locked up because of our house fire. We get there and there's absolutely nothing. Everything's gone.
Wow.
The dog's gone. The wedding dress, the wedding gifts, the house that we had saved for and we bought is now gone. I was just serving at church the night before. I am cognizant of the fact that my wife and I decided that night that neither of us were going to go to work the next morning. We get up, and the Spirit of God says, "Get up and go to work."
Okay.
We take the dog, we kiss the dog, we say, "All right, Brody, we'll end up seeing you later." We lock him in his room. We back out the driveway, and what we did not know was that the actual fire had already started while we were in the house, in the walls. So by the time it was actually visible, it had literally burned for hours.
Wow.
You know, it's an amazing thing because we are blessed. I don't have a problem with saying that. You know, Jasmine and I we're like the Huxtables. You know, both of our parents went to college. My mom went to college. My grandmother went to college. Her grandmother went to, you know what I mean? We come from a pretty decent background.
Right.
And, you know, we, you know, for the most part know how to go up, and we love going up. But sometimes, you know, you got to be, you know, life meets you and you got to be able to go down sometime. And Andre, I remember the only thing I had from the house fire that I could wear was a sweater that I had on that day that my wife bought me that I hated. I mean, I hated that sweater. And it's the only piece of clothing I had. Jasmine had 4 closets worth of clothes, and all of them were gone.
Please tell me you had insurance.
Yes.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But you're cognizant of. But then there was a fight amongst the insurance
Oh,
company.
of course. Yeah, they never want to pay out.
You know, and you know about that. But God was. I mean, and then 6 months we walked into a brand new house
There we go.
with more land, that was bigger, that we had more actual space, and now we're looking at it 4 years later. Like, wait a minute, where did we get all this stuff from?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so in that, I remember going to sleep that night, the night of that house fire, and holding my wife and realizing that was the only thing. And I'm not saying this to be sexist or chauvinistic. That was the only physical possession that I had was my wife. That was that. That sweater, my wedding ring that I had on, and Jasmine. And vice versa. And so we go from there. We buy a new house. We're getting settled in the new house, and ovarian cancer knocks at the door.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this because a Hindu doctor she had and still has told me that my wife was going to surely die at 25. Take her home, Reverend. There's nothing we can do for her. Jasmine beats that on her 25th birthday, buys a brand new Cadillac, and now we are actually faced with the fact that she's never going to have kids.
Because of the cancer.
Because of the cancer.
Shout out to GM. Hope y'all make it.
I mean, just.
Hey.
I'm sorry. You say brand new Cadillac.
I mean,
Yeah.
and that's. I have a nice GM story too. I have a GM story.
Wait, before we get to the GM story.
God always has met us.
Yeah.
And God has God has hit the reset button on us. Life has hit the reset, and God has always been there to meet us.
Yeah, so in 4 years, you lost your home. Your wife was diagnosed, and she beat ovarian cancer. You walk into a brand new house. You buy a new Cadillac.
I didn't buy it. She bought.
Well, she bought it.
Let me
She
make
buys.
it-
Yeah, she buys a new Cadillac. Jazz, you bought the Cadillac.
There we
okay?
go.
All right.
Shout out to Jasmine.
Yeah, Jazz. She bought the Cadillac, and now you have a son and another child on the way.
Yeah, shout out to that.
Shout out.
announcement.
Yeah.
The big news just
Yeah.
announced last Thursday.
Oh, okay.
right.
I'm about to say, you're not
Yeah.
dropping bombs out
Yeah,
here.
he-
Oh,
You know,
dropping bombs. That's what I
Wait
do.
a minute.
Yeah.
Has Jasmine approved that?
Boom. It is now the entire world internationally knows that Jasmine is with child.
Yes.
All right. And so now you have your-
Unplanned too, you know.
Well,
we had a
well,
not
now
believe
hold
that.
on.
no,
Hold on.
no, and
Hold it.
And I could say that
Right.
because we had so much help with Hunter because they were deeming her not able to have kids. So
Right.
I can tell you the moment that Hunter was conceived. I think when the
Hold on, wait a minute.
when
Wait a
the
minute, good
Remy
brother.
The
gets
show's
in your
about to get more
system.
hot than I was expecting. I was like,
When
I'm
the
pastor,
actual-
how much heat we gonna have
Hey,
tonight?
listen.
When the Remy and those, when the Remy's in your system, ain't no telling. And
Yeah.
I think that's how this one happened.
He about to have me come to his church.
He,
Yeah,
hey,
glory to
listen,
God.
He's gonna have. He got Jay-Z lyrics and everything else. But the interesting thing is, Jacquees, share with us a part of your drawing board story.
What part you want to hear?
Hey, listen, whatever part you want to tell.
Oh man, share a part of my drawing board story. The reason why I became a lawyer was just wanted more for my daughter. You know, I'm 36 with a 22-year-old, so I had Jasmine in 8th grade,
Okay.
and many people never thought I would persevere or amount to anything, and I really just made a decision that I wanted to have the life that I felt my mother had prepared for me.
Absolutely.
You know, my mom drove a smart bus, and put us through private school. So I went to St. Matthew. I went to Dominican, and she said, you know, education is key. But I had made a decision. I was hooping one day. You know, being young, all my friends are kind of older.
Oh yeah, so
like
a hooper,
16.
huh?
Yeah, hooper.
Did you hit him with the crossover?
Oh, hit him with the crossover.
Okay,
got
all right.
Got the three. Got the,
the
you know,
three?
yeah.
Okay, I
got
can see.
the post game strong because I got 4 brothers. I'm the only girl.
Okay.
So you know you hooping and then you always around guys. So you at 13, 14, you beginning to have these feelings and thoughts. So it's like, oh, let's just kind of take a break and explore.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, oh, okay, you go explore, and it's like, oh, why am I doing that? Not to know that, oh, look, I'm pregnant, but because I was an athlete, you know, my cycle was irregular anyway. So not having that happen wasn't a big to do.
thing, yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't gain any weight. So I got an 8-pack. You know, I'm 140 pounds. I went to basketball practice the night before I gave birth.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm putting up 42 points a game. So it was nothing that dictated or showed that I was with child
Yeah.
at the time. I just ended up going to the hospital the next day thinking that I had a bad basketball practice. And so anyway, Jasmine was born. Fast forward, you know, Jasmine was born in April of 96. I started high school August 96, and my mom was just like, you just going to go to school and finish school, and that's just going to be that. So I finished high school. I graduated from high school in 17, June 4th, 2000.
Wait a minute. We share the same graduation date.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
June 4th, 2000.
Let's go. Shout out to 2000.
Shout out to 2000. And then I started at U of M like June 25th, I think. Between June 21st and June 25th, 2000. And I finished there 3 years, 8 months. Got 2 degrees, one in English, one in American
My
culture.
Lord, come on.
Went to work for the NAACP for a year, but I wanted more.
Okay.
Quit my job at the NAACP in May of 2006. Went to law school. Finished law school May of 2010. Passed the bar the first time. Got a job out in D.C. with Congressman Hanson Clark. And then just God has been blazing away for me to make a difference and be a change agent in Detroit. And it's been a crazy, fun journey.
All right, so cool. That is amazing. There's so much in there that I want to. So much in there that.
It's like, where do I even start?
Yeah, that I want to unpack. But what really what grew from both stories is like there was a resolve that something better was definitely coming. Like even though there were bumps in the road, like for
Bumps.
you, hey, you know, little
Bumps in the road.
Yeah,
Listen, you know, having a baby, you ain't know you was
Hey,
pregnant.
listen, you know that like MC Hammer said, you know.
What do you say?
Pumps
I
on
don't-
the bump.
Yeah, you know that.
See, don't act like you don't know it, Elder. See,
Hey,
This
these
pastor's off the chain.
Hey, listen. Hey, it happens. And so because there are so many people who may share that narrative,
Yeah.
but their story is completely different.
Yeah, because you know what? For one, you got to stop having sex. Teenagers, if you're listening, your kids get knocked up, you get pregnant once. You got to say, okay, what's the common denominator here? What do I?
1 = 3.
If you say, okay, I'm a teen parent, that happens, but you
Yeah.
don't want to have any more kids. You say, I don't want to have any more kids. Unlike the good pastor here who has, you know, they were experiencing some things that they didn't think that they could get pregnant.
Right.
It's a real easy equation on how babies are made. Like, it's really, really simple, and it can be really, really quick.
Okay.
Right?
It
And when
can
you're
be.
13 and 16,
Yeah.
There's a total.
Absolutely.
you know, it don't take much. So
Yeah.
for me, it was like, what do I need to stop? And I had to refocus, literally. I am not going to do that act anymore.
I'm sticking to basketball.
I'm sticking to basketball.
All right.
because
Basketball.
financially I can't afford it, emotionally I can't afford it, spiritually I can't afford it, physically it almost killed me. So it was just like, it was so many things that I had to make. I made a decision. I'm not going to do that thing anymore. and I'm
Absolutely.
going to focus solely on school and sports. So I just immersed myself in education. I ended up graduating salutatorian in my class. I was
Congrats.
the captain of basketball, softball. Like, so my life was just really about jazz and school and church and just being on the straight and narrow.
And so another component of everything being on go, it takes such intense focus.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so my pastor, who's Chief Apostle Dr. Carolee Dixon, I shout her out on every podcast because, I mean, that is my rock that has helped me through so much as a young man. Says it like this, said, the greatest enemy to success is not a lack of ambition, but is broken focus. And so there are a lot of people who are extremely ambitious, but it's that level of focus of being able to see it through to completion to the end. There was so much about your story that I could identify with, besides the fact that I graduated high school at 17. Let's hold it down.
Hold it
All
down,
right,
17.
class of 2000. You know, I work at a school, so I had to, when I blew it up, I was
Okay,
like,
boom.
I realized, oh man, I'm around adults. I
That's
go,
okay.
hey, listen, I go around giving people fist pounds and blowing it up, and they look at me like, oh my God. But yeah, shout out to Dawson. But what I was saying is I got to give love to all of my kids at Dawson Elementary Middle School. We love y'all. Shout out to y'all, DPSCD. We are doing great things. Let's keep it going, keep it moving. But when I listen to the commonality of the stories and I look at the success and really what I feel, not just the success, because that's not what I like to focus on. What I'm sitting with people who are fulfilled. Like there's a difference. Not meaning that there's not more to get,
Yeah.
but when I'm sitting with people who like are fulfilled and have a sense of purpose, of family, and success, like those components. And I guess it depends on like each person's definition of success. But like when I get a chance and I'm meeting and sitting down and talking to you all, there's such a level of peace and fulfillment that comes because the rat race is a real thing.
Yeah, it is.
And when you get out there and when you are ultra competitive, like I mean that vibe can really like go ahead.
But what you got to also understand too with the race, you being a race by yourself.
Okay.
Realize that other people are in the race. But see, for me, when I'm running
Yeah.
or when I bench myself, because I've done that too these last 2 years,
Okay.
I'm not comparing myself to other people. I'm not like, okay, I'm 36, but I don't own a house. Or I'm 36 and I haven't done this. You know, the different things that I think society places upon us. Like you said, having peace. Do I have peace? Am I happy?
Absolutely.
Do I have joy? And that's, for me, that's where I'm striving for joy. You know, and if people don't know, if you listen, the difference between joy and happiness
Come on,
is
Reverend.
joy is everlasting.
All right.
You know, happiness is temporary.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm striving for joy. What do I need to do in my lane to have joy?
I think of it as you have to be truly thoroughbred.
Explain.
Racehorses, when they are running,
Okay.
they have blinders on and they run their race. They are not able to see who is to the right of them, who's to the left of them. They just in their lane and they run in their race. Social media gives us this snapshot of everybody's best foot forward.
Okay.
And I know for me, just last night, or it was recently, I had to unfollow some other folks
Okay.
because I found myself like, oh my God, like you said, I'm 31. They have a church. How come my church isn't having 6 or 7 services? And in that, I had to refocus
Okay.
on my race with my blinders on, put my head down, and just run my race.
Right.
That's amazing. Yeah. So keeping people who can, how important is it to keep people around you that can keep you grounded?
Oh, absolutely.
Critical.
Well, talk to me about
Critical. And anybody who's my friends are like, Jacquees, I will drop you in like a hot potato. I cannot stand negativity. And I'm talking about people who's constantly living a constant state of negativity.
Right.
I mean, we all get down. You
Yeah.
know, we have bad days, but I'm talking about people who never can see the good in anything. And you got to understand that too, you always can't share your vision with other people.
Come on.
it. Absolutely.
Because sometimes your vision is so big,
So big.
and so lofty,
Yeah.
that it sounds crazy. And you know what? If your people aren't telling you, wow, that's kind of, you sure? If people aren't looking at you sideways with what you want to do, you might not be doing enough.
You might not be. And you might be doing a lot, but that doesn't mean that you're getting a lot done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm in a fortunate situation that I've been friends with my leadership team, my board members, my trustees and training, deacons in training, on average for about 15 years.
Okay.
So our church was literally birthed out of conversations held at 3 a.m. in our living room, in our basement, people that we've actually traveled with. And not only are they able to receive things from me, they're able to correct me in a loving way. When I stop becoming pastor, then I go back to being Torian.
All right.
and they quickly you being Torian now. And so having that accountability, because that's really what it was. I mean, and it's just people, like I said, one of them's Paige. I met Paige when I met my wife. Paige kids are me and Jasmine's god kids.
Yes.
And Paige can come over to our house. She comes over, she sits down, and she asks Torian questions, and she wants to ask her pastor questions, and there's a mixture between that. But when I may have said something that she may not understand, she says, "Okay, Torian, slow down for me."
Okay.
And you have to have those people that knew you before.
Okay.
Because what I've learned is that some people are in love with the idea of you and not you.
Amen
Okay.
to that.
Yeah. That's real. Let's pause and take a New York minute. Right. That was good right there. All right.
And when
That's
you,
real.
And when
I
you
agree.
have people that are in love with the idea of you, of what you may be,
Okay.
who you gonna be, because I believe that God has that. I've known Andre before the actual podcast, almost before he was the elder Andre, probably about Dre stage,
So,
you know.
So hold on. I am a, believe it or not, I am a minister, and the elder, all of that good stuff is coming. The titles are all that good stuff. But just want for the
Excuse
record.
me.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm
yeah.
sorry. Please.
No
please
problem.
this.
Yeah.
And so he and I can have conversations that are pre-ministerial, that are for me pre-actual hunter, pre-church planter when I just worked. And Andre has a unique way of reminding you when you have forgotten what God has done for you.
We all need people like that.
There's Andre, there's LaRon, there's Marcel, and and those three brothers of mine, those are the ones that when I need to lean, those are the ones I'm leaning on. Because they said, Torian, remember you was in that snare, but God got you out. And then there's Jasmine. You have to have people around you
Right.
that are always rooting for you because it's you with no strings attached.
Absolutely. Those relationships that you can have, that they're not looking for what it is you can do for them. They're not looking to leverage or how they can benefit from a relationship with you. They just actually love the real you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those, Bishop Jakes has a thing talking about your constituents, your comrades, your cronies, and then those who, because some people are there because they're for what you're for.
Right.
Some people are there because they're against what you are against. And then there are people that are there actually for you.
Sure.
And I mean, come hell or high water, come $1 million in the bank or raising $9 million,
zero.
or zero, right?
$0.
I mean,
Shout out to my friend Robert Mack. Man,
Okay.
it's all about friendships.
Robert Mack, shout
Robert
out
Mack.
to you, sir.
Yeah. If you're
Yeah.
listening, shout out to Robert Mack. If like you said, friends who, when you get that, approval to the DAC and you got your P605.
Oh yeah,
They want to come. They want to come through for the free chicken wings on Friday. Free to them, but not to you because you got a membership. And then shout out to the people when you don't have that, right?
And y'all
Absolutely.
still eating the wings.
Well, you
It
still
doesn't-
eat,
Right.
but you just eat them at the house.
you
now.
eat them at the house.
or you sharing that $20 Planet Fitness membership.
Oh,
Oh,
share the-
you got the Netflix
Right.
password.
Watch out, the
Woo!
Netflix,
Got the-
man.
there we go.
Right, that you share amongst your
Absolutely.
your crew.
Yeah, and listening to you all, I just want to continue to remind everybody that's listening and extracting these principles is, number one, you got to identify who's at the table, who can you emulate. Then number two, you got to make sure you connect to them in another way as far as being able to help serve and help their vision materialize. So you got to be in a position to serve. Number 3, you got to make sure that you're staying focused in what you're doing and that you're running your race, not comparing yourself to other people. And then you brought up another word when we talk about friendships. There has to be a level of accountability that keeps you authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that keeps you, as you say, the kids say, we keep it 100. All around here, we've got to make sure we keep it real because people can discern phoniness. And there are people who, have these fabricated lives and, it looks really good, but there's no substance.
It's only so long.
Yeah, it's only so long. But one of the
Fake thugs
things
can pretend.
about it's only so long. And then you got some good wisdom because we're rounding out with about 10 minutes left. Got that good wisdom that if you are out there engaged, and you all may have reduced it just to producing a baby and having sex, but if you're engaged in activity that is not going to produce a fruitful end or that may produce an end for you that you're not intending, then you need to just cease the activity. It's really just that simple. It's a 4-letter word, and the word is stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just stop. So we want to get into some of the upcoming events and things that you all have going on. So I know Jaquise with Build Institute. I'm excited about the corner that's coming. Talk to me about that.
So the Build Institute, I'm trying to pull up so I can give you the right facts here. We currently located off Bagley, but we are going to be moving to a new building right there in the PAL, right there on the corner of Michigan and Trumbull. So it's going to be a new facility there, which is totally awesome. And we're running a patronicity campaign right now to raise the funds to get that popping. So today is
Giving Tuesday.
Giving Tuesday.
Giving Tuesday.
And Facebook, regardless if you give to Build or whoever nonprofit you want to support, Facebook and PayPal are matching donations. So even if you want to just drop that hot $5, and not eat a hot and ready and take a lunch, tomorrow. Don't eat no more Thanksgiving food though, because you probably gonna get sick.
Yeah.
But
Ply said you're gonna get worms, right? Isn't that what he said? Ply said he was on Instagram saying if you ate the 4th day, they got worms now.
yeah, something's wrong. So Build is gonna have a new inclusive innovation hub for Detroit entrepreneurs at the corner on the site of the old Tiger Stadium. Is a workspace. It's gonna have classes, events, meetings, collaboratives, and retail. So
Yeah, you guys are also selling your Build box.
yeah, you got you got the Build box.
Okay, what's in that Build box?
It's locally owned businesses.
So you're telling
products.
me if I was Detroit to my heart for real, I need one of these boxes.
Yeah, you definitely need one of those boxes.
Sounds like I need one.
You go to build.org.
All right, build.org.
Yep.
And Detroit Soup, which is, a part of Build, and they participated, in Build. Talk to me about
Detroit
that.
Soup is really, really, really cool. For any budding entrepreneurs or you doing any social work, you basically, so how it works is people go, anybody can go, and we make a suggested donation of $10. You give $10 and you get a vote. And you also get soup and different food. So prior to coming into the pitch competition, different businesses have applied to soup, and they select, let's say, 6 businesses. So you'll hear the pitch. So you hear all the 6 pitches, how many ever there are, and with your vote, you can cast a vote to the organization that you want to win. Now, the cool thing is the winner gets to take all the money from the door.
Oh, wow.
So
That's legit.
Let's
it's
go.
totally legit. And you don't have to be necessarily formed. You don't have to be an LLC or a partnership or a corporation. You can just be Joe Blow in Redford, want to do a community garden. This guy just loves gardening. He wants to take the gardening to a new level. You can come and pitch your ideas. So Detroit has some neighborhood soups coming up on December 2nd in Hamtramck.
All right.
And also December 2nd at Spalding Court. So for more information, just go to DetroitSoup.com.
Okay, thank you. And Reverend Torian Bridges. So, you might do a Commonwealth Garden out there.
Yeah,
Go to Detroit Soup.
Go to Detroit
I
Soup.
totally made that up.
Hey, no,
Yeah,
I know you made it up, but
she
I'm
looked
sitting
at
here
me
thinking, yeah.
and said, if you want to be Joe Blow in Redford, I was thinking, okay, well,
Yeah.
I got to get some soup.
And the reality, but the reality of it is, and not to talk about community gardens because that is not what we're sharing about. But since we had this moment, we have to talk about how we got to get back to those agricultural roots, because
Michigan
we know
Agriculture
yeah,
College.
Yeah, Michigan Agriculture College. Yeah, okay.
Oh.
I hear you.
He said Michigan
Yeah,
agriculture.
yeah.
Michigan.
Michigan Agriculture. It's the Pioneer Land Grant Institution.
Okay. All right. So as we move forward, beyond this rivalry between
I just
State
want you
and
to
U
know.
of M.
I mean, the
I hear you.
Pioneer.
I hear
What we're
you,
saying
Pastor.
is, please make sure that you are, and I'm an Indiana boy. So I grew up in Indiana. We had a garden every year. And that's why I don't have a garden now, because I had to do a lot of work, then.
You've tilled all
Yeah,
the
I have
tilling.
tilled the ground. I have turned the soil. I
Come on,
have
preacher.
chopped. I have made the rows. I have snapped the peas. I have cut the greens. I have pulled the watermelons, got the potatoes, got the tomatoes, so.
And beans.
Yeah, and beans. And,
And
no,
all,
but
and all
You
those
that
things.
seed-
And see, I didn't get a chance to shout out my pastor,
no.
Pastor Barry, Church of Messiah, 231 East Grand Boulevard.
Okay, Pastor Barry, Church of Messiah, we want to send all the love to you. And I'm encouraging everybody that's listening, if you do not have a home church, make sure you go to
The Commonwealth of Faith.
the Commonwealth.
Go over there
Yeah.
and make sure you wear maize and blue.
So, yeah.
Or Church of the Messiah.
Yeah, or Church of the Messiah with Pastor Barry, or Kano's International Church with Pastor Chief Apostle Dr. Carol Lee Dixon. So tell us what you got coming up.
We have Sunday service and Tuesday night Bible study. Tuesday night Bible study starts at 6:30. That's why I was running late.
Okay.
Sunday's service is start at 10 a.m. We're pretty much done by 12 o'clock, so you can go home and watch those horrible Lions play football.
Okay.
Or you can go to actually brunch, or you can do whatever. We are adopting 5 families for Christmas during our Christmas outreach program called the Christmas Connection. You can find that information on our website, www.commonwealthoffaith.org. And also, if you need a house, my wife Jasmine is the best realtor, and she sells out of Keller Williams Farmington. So that's all the upcoming events we have.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, wait, I forgot. We got
No, it's
more.
okay.
Our grand opening service is January 6, 2019 at 23705 Plymouth Road, Redford Township, Michigan at 10 a.m., the first Sunday of 2019.
All right, shout out. So I also wanted to say, because I may have some of my Washington Parks family, when I was the dean of students at Washington Parks Academy, which was a Cornerstone charter school, it used to be called Cornerstone Redford, right out there in the old Bishop Borges.
Oh, yeah.
And
BG.
so, so I used to be the dean of students out there. So all of my family at Washington Parks, if you're looking for a great church with a pastor who has awesome integrity, I vouch for this man of God who is not just my friend, but he has served. You heard of his track record. He served under Pastor Kinlock with Triumph Church and helped to grow the church from 10,000 to 30,000. Well, he doesn't want me to say that. All right, so I'll retract that. But he was part of the team. You were part of the team.
I was part of the team.
Yeah, so
I was like
Does
the
Pastor
water
Kinlock
boy.
know who you are?
Yeah, Pastor Kinlock knows who I am.
yeah. All right.
Just joking.
Yeah, so shout out, and want to make sure you stop by. Some of you all went by there
For our harvest
for
night.
the harvest night. So some of the students came by, and at the harvest night, you had resources there.
Yeah, Thaw was with us.
Thaw.
The Detroit Parent Network.
DPN.
Autism International, or the Color of Autism, that's what it was. And there were several other organizations. Thaw gave out, I think, like $34,000 worth of heating assistance that night.
That night.
Night.
Yeah, I
And
saw
it was
that.
just amazing, because we are a very small church right now, and it was 300 kids. We had over 16,000 pieces of candy. All of it was donated.
Amazing. So, yeah, it is Giving Tuesday, and if they want to give to Commonwealth of Faith, how do they do that?
Go to our website, commonwealthoffaith.org. That's COMMON wealth, WEALTH of faith.org. And click the tab. It's going to say giving.
Okay, great. And if they want to give to Build Institute?
Yeah, build.org. BUILD.org.
That was really easy.
Oh, great. And if you want to give to Ebron and Associates, you can just go ahead and purchase the book. Go to Amazon right now. Look up Andre Ebron, The Drawing Board. We talked about one of the chapters in the book today. Everything is on go. As soon as you make the decision to commit yourself to your vision, your ideas, and I'm talking about if your vision is not scaring you, then your vision is not big enough. If your vision does not require you to include God in prayer or meditation in your faith, then it's not big enough. If your vision does not require you to connect to other team members in your community to help bring it to pass, it is not not big enough. Everything is already on go. You have to have the tenacity. You have to have the commitment. You have to identify those who you want to emulate. You have to make sure that you stay focused and run your race. Run your race. Get up off the couch right now. Put down whatever it is you're holding. Write up that business plan. Go to Detroit Soup. Contact Commonwealth Gardens that are getting ready to be that's getting ready to be made, and make sure that you connect with Ebron and Associates, because my goal is to let you know that your future is not behind you. Your future is not before you, but it is within you. My name is Andre Ebron. I am the host and the founder of the Drawing Board Podcast. Thank you all for joining me. Jacquees, I appreciate all the wisdom that you gave, keeping the humor light, making sure we have fun. My brother Torian, I already know we're getting ready to cut up. If you need a blessed bunt, too. This guy.
blessed what?
Bunt.
Oh,
B-U-N-T.
see, she was taking it somewhere else.
Yeah, blessed.
Bunt cake.
It'll be it'll be legal December 6th.
Oh, yeah.
My Lord. Fix it,
No, so
Jesus.
listen, as we listen, you know, I was running my race.
I was
running
that's
my
it.
race,
And
and no, but he also has pound cakes that he makes and he sells. So
But
bunt, yes,
cake.
B-U-N-D-T, yes, bunt,
Not
yes,
blessed.
right.
Let the Lord bless you tonight.
Amen. So listen, God bless you all as we prepare to close out. Remember again that to go ahead and go to Amazon, get this book. I have some physical copies here. If you want to get in touch with me, just let me know, and I'll sign it personally to you or to those who love. It serves as a great stocking stuffer, the Drawing Board Podcast. And peace out.
Mics are off. Just give me 1 second. There we go.
So now I love like